Alright, coming to the end of this whole upstroke, upbeat silliness. So, the big thing to remember, wait to move that left hand. They need to move in synchronization, the left and the right hand. So you don't want to strum, move, and then strum. You have to move at the same time. So, that's the big thing. You did do it yesterday. So now you got to just practice it through all the rest of the week. And up at the higher tempos as well. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I screw something up? I think I did. Take 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to 90 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. On to the real weird one. So let's see. This is something where you might want to write out a full count, meaning you're going to write out all eighth notes, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on, and then underline the part that you play on, and you can kind of go, maybe print the page out, write it on the page itself, or just write it on a piece of paper. So what I'm going to do here, I don't know if we've gone over this or not, so I'm going to bring up a Word document and demonstrate exactly what I'm talking about. So let's see how I can get this also on the screen. Hang on. Okay, what can I do? Properties. Okay. Well, you can't see me, but that's just fine. Okay, so what the hell am I talking about? Basically, this is what I do if I have something that's troubling, like a strange rhythm that's constantly changing. This is to make it much easier to read. So the smallest subdivision we have is an eighth note. So what you're going to do is write out that. That's your rhythm template. So your 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there we go. Okay. So you write that out, but we have 4 bars, so we're going to do that 4 times. So just make this simple. And okay. So you underline the part of the beat you play on. So we look at bar 1 and we see we do come in on the first beat. So I'm going to underline that. And then you look ahead here and you see that this is a half note. So you know that lasts 2 whole beats. So when you're looking at this, you know that you're not going to underline anything else through all that because the half note lasts those 2 beats. So you look ahead again. So you see beat number 3. We don't play on the downbeat of that, but we do play on the upbeat of 3. So we're going to underline the upbeat of 3. And now we look at bar 2. So we have the down and the upbeat being played on. So you go over here, underline that. Beat number 2, we play a quarter note, so that lasts all of beat number 2, so we just underline beat 2, because we're only playing on the downbeat of 2 and not on the upbeat. And we see beat number 3 is a quarter note, so we underline the downbeat of 3. And then beat 4, we're playing on the down and the upbeat. So we're going to underline 4 and. So now we go to beat number 3, or beat number 3. Bar number 3. So we see that nothing is played on the downbeat of 1, but we do play on the upbeat of 1. So we're going to underline that. Beat number 2, we are playing on the down and the upbeat. So we're going to underline that. Beat 3, we only play on the upbeat. And the same thing with beat 4, we play on the upbeat. So we're going to underline the ands of beats 3 and 4. And then the last bar, we play on the downbeat of 1. So we're going to underline that. And then beat number 2, we don't play on the downbeat. We do play on the upbeat. Beat number 3, we're not playing anything on that. So beat number 4, we see a quarter note, so we underline that. So there you go. That's the count for this guy. Let's see if I can make some adjustments here. Maybe. Come on now. That works, I guess. So now we can just, so you can like practice counting or kind of like look at both things. That's why I said like maybe if you want you can print out the page and then write it like underneath something, like writing under here. Just make sure that if you actually write it on the page, you want all of this stuff to line up properly. So you want the 1 to be directly under the 1, and you have your 1 and 2 and then the 3 would need to come in under here. You don't want to just like write things out like and have all the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like end up right here, because then that would be confusing to look at. So you want, if you do write it on a tab or you know anything like this, you want to line it up the best you can with it, or else it would be very strange to look at. So that being said, let's run through the count. Always a good thing to start with. So I'm just going to save the underlined portion that's on the screen. So we got 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 2 and 1 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 2 and 1 and 4, done. Okay, well, let's give this a go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 2 and 1 and 4, 1 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 2 and 1 and 4. On to 9 beats minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 1. So yeah, if you need to practice counting something like this, even though you've done it before, never a bad idea to re-practice something like that. So you get the 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4. Do it slow if you need to. 1, 2, and 4. Another thing for something like this, you might want to just get familiar with where your fingers are going to go. So just like, okay, so bar number 1, I'm going to do that. And then bar number 2, you're going to be playing those notes. Bar number 3, you're going to get used to that. And bar number 4, you're used to that. And you can repeat the same bar several times just to get used to the fingering and how the picking's going to go before moving on to the next one. So as always, break things down into as many small pieces as needed to make it easy to progress. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now up to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the top speed for the single note stuff, 140. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, well there we go. As always, if you have any questions for next week, let me know. I will see you soon.